Great, welcome back to week 4 of the 5-Minute Mysteries. So I have an answer for you for last week's mystery, An Evening with the Logic Club. No blue-eyed member can have a pierced ear because he would both recite a poem and sing a song at the first meeting. And no red-headed member could have black eyes because he would recite an essay and play the banjo at the second meeting. Only those rules could present a contradiction to a member. Hence, Arnold's deduction, green or brown eyes, would cause no such problem. Since members do not change hair or eye color, Marta could never have been a black-eyed redheaded. She must therefore have blue eyes and be considering piercing her ear. Tucker and Stanwyck deduced this and correctly surmised that Marta would contemplate taking this drastic expulsory step only if she had received or was expecting a valuable earring, probably for a major birthday or anniversary. Right, this week's mystery is the River War robbery. Chief William Ryan of the Baskerville Police was sitting on his front porch one unusually mild Sunday afternoon with Thomas P. Stanwyck, the amateur logician. Stanwyck's black Labrador, Rufus, slept lightly beside his master's wicker chair. "Still working on a school book, Tom?" asked the laconic Ryan. "That's right, Bill," Stanwyck replied. "I'm editing a textbook on American history from 1900 to 1950. It's a fascinating period." "Don't I know it," snorted Ryan. "I lived through most of it. Fought in the World War II and FDR and Churchill in the book. You never know these days." "Their names come up," Stanwyck grinned. "Say, you're particularly interested in Churchill, aren't you?" "I am indeed. Why?" "A book by Churchill was stolen from Fred Morgan's study 3 nights ago," said Ryan. "The River War, it was called. Morgan's a military historian who collects Churchill items. He said it was valuable." Stanwyck's eyes glistened. 2 volumes, dark blue with a gilded riverboat illustration and the author's signature on the covers? "Yes." Ryan looked at Stanwyck suspiciously. Stanwyck whistled. "A first edition," he exclaimed. "Very rare and worth several thousand according to Langsworth's guidebook. Please tell me more." "Morgan has a large study on the ground floor," said Ryan. "It's quite a room. High shelves, ceiling beams, heraldic banners. The thief forced entry at 10 p.m. through a window by smashing the glass and pulling the bolt. A chair by the window was overturned and the flower bed outside was trampled. Some muddy marks were left on the hardwood floor, but no distinguishable prints. No fingerprints either. He grabbed the book and left as he came. Morgan discovered the thief the next morning." "No one else heard the glass break?" "No. Morgan lives alone and was out at a Churchill dinner in Royston." "Ah, yes. The Churchill Society was celebrating the great man's birthday. I was too busy to go myself. Any leads?" Ryan took a sip of iced tea. "Only one, really," he replied. "The book was kept behind a sliding panel on the bookshelves. Not obvious. Nothing else was taken. Whoever took it must have known where to find it. Other than Morgan himself, only 3 people knew this. Peter Costello, a rival Churchill collector, viewed Morgan's collection 2 years ago. Stephen Greco, a book dealer in Milverton, helped Morgan make an inventory of his collection several months ago. Morgan's former research assistant, Lynn Heffernan, left his employment shortly after the inventory was finished." "Interesting," Stanwyck relit his pipe. "I think I know Costello. About 60, ruddy face, white hair, no glasses, bad teeth." "That's him. What's his alibi?" "Says he attended the same dinner as Morgan. He arrived late just as the crowd was going into dinner and sat at a table near the exit. Morgan doesn't remember seeing him, but it was a crowded event and they didn't look for each other. Costello tried to buy the River War when he visited Morgan and got very angry when Morgan turned him down. They haven't spoken since." "How about the other 2? "Greco says he was home that evening watching TV with his wife. A cable news channel was doing a report on a tomato festival in Wisconsin when he dozed off shortly before 11. Miss Heffernan says she was in the library stacks at Royston State working on her doctoral thesis on Central African military tactics. No witnesses, though. She was in one of those private booths reserved for PhD students." "Why did she leave Morgan's employ?" asked Stanwyck. "She would say that they parted on bad terms. Morgan says she was unreliable." "Huh. Why did Morgan have an inventory done anyway?" "He said he needed to update his insurance. The insurance investigator has found no evidence of fraud, though." Rufus lifted his head and yawned. Stanwyck languidly stood up and zipped his jacket. "Well, Bill," he said, "I'd better get Rufus home for his supper. We enjoyed the visit. If I may, I'd like to repay your hospitality by pointing out the identity of the thief. So who stole the River War? Tell you next week.